Okay, now the session is already recorded. May I ask everyone to switch on your camera for our attendance monitoring while we have our opening prayer. Okay, so let us pray all together. If you are Catholic, let's do the sign of the cross in the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. Amen. Almighty Father, we praise and glorify your name. We thank you for this another opportunity that we are all together meet through virtual classroom, Lord God. Lord, we ask your holy presence to be with us today. Continue to guide us and protect us from all harm, Lord God. Lord, send us also your Holy Spirit that for us to be guided and to enlighten our mind and hearts to whatever discussions that we will have this afternoon. Lord, thank you so much for the gift of life, for the gift of wisdom and knowledge, Lord God. Lord, we ask for the forgiveness of our sins because we all know we can do nothing without you. This we ask through Christ our Lord. Amen. In the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. Amen. So once again, good afternoon, everyone. So let us greet each other. Good afternoon. So good afternoon, and
Afternoon, sir.
Sir, good
good
afternoon,
afternoon.
sir.
Okay, so you may now switch off your
Good
camera if you
afternoon,
want
sir.
in order for you to establish a good internet connectivity. For now, we are having our work from home. That is why you can see that I am having my online class in our respective residence. So for the entire week, we'll be working at home. So that is why also you can observe some of your instructors are also conducting online classes in the respective residences. So to start our lesson for today, no, let's have a short recap of the discussion, no. So that's the standard protocol or procedure when you conduct classes, no, regardless it's online or in the face to face. Prior to the beginning of the lesson, you are going to conduct the review or the what we call the recalling of the previous lesson or establishing the prior knowledge, no. So last meeting, I think we had already have
Good
our
afternoon, sir.
hi, good afternoon. We have our meet and greet, no, and I've asked some questions about yourself, about your scholastic background, and you have submitted, no, you have submitted your first activity, no. Before we proceed to our class this afternoon, no, I am tasked to discuss the first part of the course content, no. But before that, no, I would like to remind everyone, no, I'll be trying to share my screen. You cannot see yet your scores in the performance task meet and greet, no, video presentation. No, you cannot yet see your scores because it's not yet posted in the class record. So I'll be doing here. Some of you, when I check your activity or video presentation, you're using the Google Drive, no. So I'll be teaching once again, no, how are you going to use the Google Drive so that it will be easy for me to access your activity and tasks, no. Because if the file is more than 45 MB, it's indicated in your portal, no? Whatever trying na imong buhaton, it will not be uploaded because probably it exceeded to the 45 MB limit, no? So if that would happen, that you have 45 MB more than that, you will be using the link, no? Your you upload your uh, video or your task, if it is a document, you upload that one in a Google Drive or make a Google Docs. Then copy the link and make it that the link is accessible. Share share the link with anyone with the link, no? The privacy must be anyone with the link, no? Para ma-view na ko siya. No, although dili na ko ma-edit, as long as ma-view na ko siya, okay na siya. So I am reminding you na if the document or the word that you are going to submit is more than 45 MB, it will not allow you to upload that document to the portal. So the remedy or the other way that you can upload your task or activity is using the Google Drive. So of course, you have now your personal G Suite account, but I can still see there are two individuals who is asking to join the session using their own personal Gmail. No, that is why it will be reflected here in my screen that requesting to be admitted outside St. Michael College of Caraga. No, it will be reflected here in in my screen outside St. Michael College of Caraga. It only means that you are not using your G Suite account, or you are now you don't have yet your G Suite account. So I think most of you have already your G Suite account because you automatically enter the meeting, no? Earlier, no? Daghan-daghan na naka-appeal sa meeting na with uh, the link automatically because they are using their G Suite. So I hope that everybody has its own G Suite na. So how are you going to do to submit your account or your task? No, of course you'll be using your Google G Suite. I'll be sharing my screen for a while for the benefit of the others who have not yet submitted. No, I'll be showing also the task because if late ka, late gid na ang makabutang ana. Of course, 5 days lang siyang gipangayo. So now you can open your Google example. This is your screen is already available. No, this is my personal Gmail, so that is why I'll be changing it to G Suite account. No, how will you know that you're using your G Suite account? So if it is indicated in your email that smc@smcc.nasipit.edu.ph, that only means that you are using your G Suite account. So I'll be clicking this one, and I will be doing my Google Drive. For example, you click this one, no, this 9 dots there, then you look for the word drive. So when you see the word drive, you click that one. Okay. So after that, so if you want to make, no, save that one. For example, this video, o nakita naman ako ni kailan naman yung gi-access ako. So, for example, kanikang Domingo, I'll be opening this one. So, for example, ako na siyang na-upload. So, pag na-upload na siya, ay na lang itong video. Okay. For example, kanilang course outline. So, kaya na-upload naman na siya, just copy the link here, no? This is the link. After that one, this is the link. You copy that one, copy, then you go to your portal, then that's the time you're going to post, no? But make sure that the link that you're going to use is you have already shared this one to anyone with the link, no? So, ang imong tan-awon dira na nakabutang share, no? Pangitaon nimo, then mugawas na dira mangita tag okay aman to restricted man na. So you click the word restricted there, then you click anyone with the link. So there you have it. You already have the anyone with the link. Then that is the right time for you to click the word copy link. Okay. When you have the copied link, you go back to your portal, then look for the submission. That's the type. You click that one, then you will have it. No? So that will be the process on how to make your Google Drive link, no, to be submitted in the in your activity. So, sir, pwede ba ko mag-submit personally, PM na ko sa imuha, email na ko? Of course, you are not allowed to do that because the grading will be happening on the on the portal or the LMS. So if you will submit that one to me personally through messenger to email, your activity will not be graded because the grading of your activity will only happen on the G Suite on the portal. Look at this. No, I'll be uh, showing you your scores. Okay. So this is the activity. There are 9 individuals or unchecked. Probably wala pa na ako na open kay I cannot access. No. Look at this. This will what this is the thing. No. When I open this one, okay, so if you submitted beyond the schedule is the date created is August 18. It's also released on that the same date, and the deadline is 23. That was yesterday, and the total points is 50. So what will happen? So if you submit that one on the right time, ang makabutang ana pending, no? Kana example, si Bahala, no? When I click, oh, I cannot access her activity because it was not shared with anyone with a link. So what will I do? I will just click my account, my G Suite account, and I'll be requesting her to share. So malangan ko pag-check, no? May pag-open pa lang na ako, for example, mga pending. So kani kang Asinas, wala pa na siya nagladuhan kay late siya August 24. So karon pa ng alas 11 niya submit. So makita na nako iyang video. So makita po ninyo iyang video. So wala pa na nako siya na checkan.
Hi everyone, good afternoon, sir, good afternoon. I am Valerie Nicole Ciasanas.
Okay, so I'll be stopping na lang kay pag-check ana. So these are your grade, but you cannot see that one in your when I post that one, no, so I'll be posting that one, so you can see now your grade, no? Post scores to class record, enter password. So, no, posted to class record, students can no longer submit their performance task. So, for this time, dili sa ko mo post, kay daghan pa may wala nakasubmit. Because when I will be posting this one, you can no longer submit your performance task. So, I will not post yet because there are others who are still going to submit, no? So, mauna siya, mailhan na to na ang wala nakasubmit. So, for example, si Ranyes, wala namang kaha ni sila. Si Sabaliero, si Castro, wala po siya kasubmit. Si Bailon, si Anthony, wala po. Yeah. Mailhan na siya ang imong status kung na-check na kani August 24 man gi-submit alas 11, so late na siya. Of course, if it is late, there will be some deduction of the points. Kanang pending, wala pa gina siya na-check kay dili na po siya ma-open. So that will happen. That would be the scenario. So I hope na nakuha nato ang procedure sa pag-submit kay we have series of activities pa that you're going to submit. No, I hope na sugod pa man nasabtan lang nato ni siya nga dili pa kayo nato makabisado. But do not worry, no. I am willing to help you if you have some concerns or issues about the submission. Please use the chat box. No, we have our messenger, our group chat. There you can ask questions related to the activities or topics. Okay. But before that, before proceeding to my topic for this afternoon, I will be again be showing to you your assigned tasks. No, there are 8 groups, no? So I'll be presenting again because it will be the first presentation will start on next Tuesday. So please direct your attention on the screen because you will be seeing your group numbers and group topics, but the name is not yet there. I'll be calling your name and your group number. So please take note of your group number. Once your name is called and you are given your group number, please take note of and remember your group number. Because if I am done giving the number, I'll be also showing the topics that you are going to discuss with your group. So these are the topics, no? For this afternoon, I'll be discussing the first topic of the readings in Philippine history. No, if you try to look at this, uh, I think I have shown you this one last meeting. So, introduction to history. I'll be the one to discuss that one, introduction to history, that 5 topics. Then, the rest of the topics will be discussed by the group. No, so this is our course content or course outline. This will serve as your guide. I'll be uploading this one also in our resources later if I will still have time, because I still have another class after this. No, I have 1 to 3, and I have also 3 to 5 for this afternoon. So also the reference will be also be posted in our resources. Just visit the LMS. No, these are the topics. No, you can get your information. The PowerPoint, you are required to make a PowerPoint presentation. So you are when the topic is given in your group, you will divide that one in the group members. For example, if group one is composed of 5 members, all 5 members have the opportunity to speak or to report, no, using the PowerPoint presentation. Dili pwede nga isa lang ang mubuhat, isa ra pod ang istorya. So we are going to develop your communication skills. So that is why everybody must be able to speak and to communicate and to report to the assigned task. So it is up to your group. No, if you are composed of 5, you will divide the topic. For example, if you are group 1, this is the topic for the group 1, Magellan's voyage around the world. So these are the content. You may be able to summarize this one, and you also could add references from other resources like internet, SlideShare, but make sure that you will cite your references. No, so you can read this one. That is good for group 1. No, ang uban dili na kay maklaro, but you can search. No, you can add another information, or you can rely on the internet. So wala siya daghan kayo na. So for example, that is for the group 1. And then every after discussion, there will be a guide questions that you're going to answer. That is part of the written task. No, and there will be activity. So that is for the group 1. Then another one, wala siya. Okay, so going back, this will be the topics. Okay, if you are assigned for group 1, wala. So prior to that, I'll be giving first your group number. So listen attentively and carefully, and uh, please remember your group number. So I'll be basing that one on the attendance also. And may I request also everyone to visit the LMS when we have our class, because attendance will only be checked once you already visited the LMS. There you can see this individual Castro. Si Costilas is already out of this class. And Gildo is not here. Grino also. So kung if you are only looking for the link, no, when your classmate is sending you the link and you just click the link from the group chat, you will not be present because you did not use the LMS. So I am requiring everyone to visit the LMS, and there you will get your Google link or Google Meet link, the conference link. There, that is the time that you're going to click. Once you click the Google Meet link there, you will be present. But if you just receive a link coming from your classmates or from the GC, probably you will not be present here. This is what happened to Gildo. Probably if he is around already in the session, but he did not use the LMS, he will be labeled absent. No? Grenio, Gildo, this one, the following, no? Si Milay, wala naman daw ni. So, mao na siya. Ranes, wala pang pa daw ni. Then sa Baliro Cherry. So, kaning mga naadiri tingog lang kung naa mo. Lubrico, Matilos, Morastel. Are
Excuse
you
me,
around?
sir.
Yes.
Si Lubrico, sir, ni-transfer na,
Ah,
sir.
ako na tanggalon si Lubrico. Insa pa? How about
Si Gildo sir, transfer na sab.
Si Muna
insa
Luna,
to?
ni-transfer na.
Gildo. Gildo sir, Gildo.
Eldo, wala na ni. Transfer na. How about si Matilos? Wala na po ni.
Undang na po na, sir.
Oh, si Lubrico, Matilos Mila, more cream na lang ang nawala, mura still. Wala po ni siya. Si Ranis, wala na po. So meaning, all are present. So, kaning cherry, wala naman po. So we will start now. So we will start at the bottom, no? Because actually, ang kasagaran din mag-start is nasa ibabaw. So, for those who are around, please take note of your group number. For a while, I need to check my messenger kanina message. Kasi importante. Okay, so we will start the groupings. No, please take note and also get your group members. No, you can use the messenger, the group chat. No, you can communicate with group members. No, once you already have your group members, you can create your own group chat with your group members or with the report daily. As long as you can communicate, you will have to decide who will be discussing this topic, these subtopics, no? So meaning to say you need to work together as one virtually. No, there's no need for you to go to the respective house. You can work virtually, but in the presentation, there will be only one presentation, no? Dili pwede nga lima mo kabuok members, lain-lain mong presentation. There should be one presentation, but if there are 5 members, now the 5 members will be able to have their time. But there should be one presentation per group. Kaya para dili ta malangan nga siya na pod kung wala siya nang adlaw di nara ang presentation, no? So probably your group members could continue. But that person, no, kung wala siya, so wala siya grade ana nga time sa iyang performance, no? But I will be asking his or her reason if it is valid. And if the reason is valid, I'll be giving him or her another activity. Okay? So I hope I am clear that the presentation that they are going to use or to make will be at one presentation per group. So there in the presentation, every topics are already there. So it will be depending on the group who will be the first presenter, the second presenter, the third presenter, and the rest. So that will be the scenario, no? Para dili ta maglisod. Okay, so to start, let's have the first group, the group 1. Saballero, Sheila May will be group 1. Vasquez, you are group 2. So there are 8 group, no? Again, Saballero, Sheila May, you are group 1. Vasquez, you are group 2. Trinquete, you are group 3. Taglokop, group 4. Sumagang, group 5. Suhayon, group 6. Sugala, group 7. Sotiliza, group 8. Okay. Sirinya, group 1. Salarza, group 2. Sahot, group 3. Sahot, group 3. Pitinya, Regine, group 4. Patinya, Regine, group 4. Patinya, Carmina, group 5. Patinya, Ace, group 6. Pastera, group 7. Aghinayan, group 8. Oliverio, group 1. Nalan, group 2.
Sir, nalam na,
Lorion.
sir.
Nalam, nalam.
Sir.
Group 2 ka, no? Group 2 ba ito kung giingon?
Sir.
Group 2 to kung giingon sa imo, ha?
Yes, sir.
Okay, nalan Group 2. Lorion Group 3. Loren Group 4. Usul Group 5. Humunong Group 6. Amito Group 7. Amin Group 8. Hermoso Group 1. Gumata Group 2. Godines Group 3. Domingo Group 4. Diwat Group 5. Diaz Group 6. Del Rosario Group 7. Damasco Group 8. Dagumay Group 1. Claros Group 2. Magandi Group 3. Bukad Group 4. Bilbao Group 5. Bailon Group 6. Baracuso Group 7. Baracol Group 8. Baluis Group 1. Bahala Group 2. Banyes Group 3. Apos Group 4. Antuki Group 5. Amantillo Group 6. Asinas Group 7. And Abbas Group 8. So there you have it, no? That will be your group members, a group number together with your group members. Later, you will be asking your group members. You can use the group chat, no? Just ask your classmate of what group are they. And of course, you can work together. So I'll be calling the first group, the group 1, no? So to make it in advance, because you will be the first presenter next week. And as I said in our previous meeting, the protocol in making or in the prior to the presentation of the reporting will be 1 to 2 days, no? 2 days or 1 day before your scheduled reporting or scheduled oral presentation. You need to submit it first to me, your PowerPoint presentation, the whole PowerPoint presentation that was made by the group. So please send me in advance at least 2 days or 1 day before Tuesday. So by Sunday or by Monday, please send it to me, especially group 1, no? So because the group 1 will be the first presenter. And I am also looking forward for the group to prepare in advance, no? So while you have your presentation, probably what will happen during the presentation? Probably there will be an interaction and I will be asking someone or the group to stop the presentation because I'll be asking someone. So please bear with me. So if I will let you stop, you will just stop because I'll be asking, or I'll be inserting because I'll also give my input of discussion. No, or probably I'll be also sharing videos. You may also show videos as part of your presentation, no, or whatever activity that you want to have, you are allowed to do it, no, meaning to say it is a free flowing discussion. So if you want to have a video presentation that is related to your topic, it is okay. No, but if you don't want to have a video presentation, a pure oral presentation, there's no problem on that. But please bear with me when I told you to stop, you will just stop. But if I will not let you stop, you just continue until the time that you are going to finish the rest of the group members. Basta let me be reminded that everyone must have the part. No, the group members should divide the topics accordingly. No, na dapat equal mo or whatever na inyong discussion as long as makita na. So once you have your presentation, no, I'll be asking you to open your camera, no, so that I can see your face that you are doing something. Okay, I hope it is clear already. No, I hope I am clear. Okay, so you have already your group members. Klaro na? Wala ba tayong pangutana before we proceed now to the first topic that I will be going to discuss? And I would like also to ask everybody, for the rest of the groups, to please submit or send a copy of your PowerPoint to the group chat once it is already approved. Once it's already approved, meaning to say you are done already with your PowerPoint presentation and the oral presentation, after your oral presentation or reporting, no, nahumana mo, after that, you please upload the copy of your PowerPoint presentation in the group chat because the examination, the first prelim exam, will be get from the topics and the coverage will be based upon the presentation of your classmates. So that will also serve as your review material, the PowerPoint presentation. But I am also adding some questions, no, that will be part of our discussion. So, but mainly the questions from the major exams will be coming from the PowerPoint presentation of your classmates. So that is why please be responsible of sending your copy of your PowerPoint presentation so that your classmates will have their copy and that will serve as their review material. Okay, I hope it is clear. No, I'll be having now my first presentation, and uh, to during my presentation, I'll be calling some students, or randomly I'll be calling you and I'll be asking you to switch on your camera to give me your idea and opinion because I will be having an oral recitation or an interaction that this is a graded one. And in the middle of the discussion, I will be asking you to randomly check your camera if you are still there because I cannot see you, physically, while we have the online class. It's different from the face to face because I can see you and I can merely observe your action during the class. But this time, you are switching off your camera. Therefore, I could not identify anyone who is still be who is still with us during the discussion. So randomly, we have the camera check. The time that I'll be asking you to open your camera, uh, please bear with me. So kung maingon kog open cam, you just open it. And of course, most of the time, I'll be using the chat box. So the chat box must be active there, the chat box, because it's recorded. Later, I'll be reviewing for those students who participated using the chat box. Most of the time, the chat box will be used during the recitation, It's a feedback, or are they asking, for example, what can you say about this statement, or give me another word that could be associated to this word, or give me your opinion, or can you look for another term that can be associated to this term. So the chat box will be very useful during oral recitation or during the presentation that I will be having. And it will be also the same during your classmates, during your classmates time, during their presentation, they will be also using, and I will be also using the chat box. So it is a multitasking. You will be listening the same time you will be going to answer questions using the chat box. So I want you to be interactive and active in this presentation. The PowerPoint presentation is already uploaded in the lesson if you try to visit our LMS, So if you check that one, I hope the PowerPoint presentation of my presentation today is already found in your LMS, I'll be checking it. Let's try to look at it's already available there. Okay. We have this one, the school vision mission, the lesson 2. Okay, why study history? The PowerPoint is already there. So we'll be showing a video.
History is fascinating. It's more than just dates and facts about long ago events.
Okay, for a while. Madungog ang video dili.
Madungog, sir.
Madungog, sir.
Madungog, sir.
Okay, so I'll be continuing the video presentation. Then later I'll be asking something about the video. So please watch it carefully.
History is fascinating. It's more than just dates and facts about long ago events. And in today's ever changing world, it's more important to study history than ever before. But before we talk about why, we need to ask, what is history? No, it's not the study of the evolution of dinosaurs, that's paleontology, or how glaciers created mountains and valleys. We call that geology. Yes, these events happened in the past, but history involves the study of humans and their actions. It's understanding how past events impacted our world. Think about it. Is it more important to memorize the exact amount of fuel the Apollo 11 used for the 1969 lunar mission? I'm going to step off the limb. Or to consider the impact landing on the moon had on the world and our understanding of human capabilities? One small step for man. The larger argument of how the Apollo 11 mission impacted science, technology, and humankind is what makes history. So, why do we study history? To guarantee we're not doomed to repeat it? It's true that by studying history, we can learn from our past mistakes, but we can also gain insight into why people, cultures, governments, and countries are in their current state. Take the country of Iran, for example. Tensions between Iran and the West came to a head during the Revolution of 1979, when the US-supported monarchy was overthrown and an Islamic republic was established. Fast forward to today, and you can start to understand the tension between these two nations. Speaking of the United States, studying how the U.S. Constitution and the rights afforded to different peoples has evolved over the past 200 years can help us understand our modern government, businesses, culture, and politics. From the abolitionists and women's suffrage to the civil rights movement and present-day protests, these events and the people who led them continue to inspire generations of people who want to make an impact. Okay, let's recap. Why is it important to study history? Well, studying history allows us to develop critical thinking skills, which make us ask questions and seek out multiple perspectives to develop a more informed view of the world around us. It helps us see how we arrived where we are, but also that the only constant is change. By knowing what has worked or what has not worked in the past, we can continue to improve and move forward. So, given all this, why not soak up as much about history as you can? To learn more about the Bachelor's and Master's in History programs at Southern New Hampshire University,
Okay, so there you have it. No? The video tells us that I know that you have already have heard something about what is history and why there's a need for us to study history. No, so it's already available in the LMS. So you visit the LMS because there some of the additional information is uploaded that will serve as your asynchronous class. No, it's already stated here that why there's a need for us to study history. But prior to that, no, let's have first a definition of history. No, for you, what is history? No, when you say, if you try to look at, there are two terms there. No, word is his, then we combine that one. No, his, and then there is what we call story. No, his story. So it's all about telling what happened. So in the past, we are talking about in the past. So his story. So when we talk about his, it's all about man or lalaki, no? But referring to his before, it's already referring to a human being, history, no? Atong istorya. So every one of us have our own history. So probably after the end of the session, there will be another presentation that you're going to submit. No? You're going to tell us your history or your story about from the beginning, no, the time that you already have the consciousness. When you say consciousness, kamalayan sa salitang Filipino. Sa vernacular, it is kung naana kay buot, no? That is what we call. You can still remember, I think, the age of 4 years old. No, do you agree that when you are 4 years old or 5 years old. I could still remember my experience when I was 4 and 5. Four ko nakadumdum. How about others?
I cannot remember,
sir.
sir.
4. May uban 5, no? Pero kung 6 na ka nakadumdum, delayed na kay ang imuhang motor skills, no? Murag delayed kay imo ang cognitive skills, no? So I think I was 4 years old that I could still remember clearly. Even as of today, I can still recall clearly that the event, the significant event. But not all the events in my fourth year here in existence in the world. I cannot recall all of them, the experiences, but there was always embarrassing, not embarrassing, memorable. No, that is why when you write something, if you still remember kanang sa high school mo, elementary mo, before mo magbuwag-buwag sa inyong mga classmate, namin gitawag nga slam book. No, mag-answer ba mo ng slam book sa una? No, your most unforgettable memories, your crush. There you will write everything. No, your favorite something. So there you can also have your diaries. No, who among you here still have diaries? Okay, Miss Miss Lay, do you still have your koan diary daw? You are raising your hand.
Yes, sir. I still have my diary, sir.
Oh, that's a good example, no? That we are not only relying on Facebook, because Facebook is a good example of a diary, digital diary. Why? Because everything that happens in our life, no? Unsa man gina-post na to sa Facebook and social media. Di ba, a year after, what will happen? A year after that you posted that certain picture and story or whatever, what will happen a year after? The Facebook will what? Remind you of your
Memories.
memories or the history. Now, if without Facebook, probably if you don't also have your diaries, of course you cannot recall that one. In our country, we have what? Books, no? As a reference. Not all not all written in the books, so not all events in our country, in the Philippines, when the discovery of writing system. So nauso o na-discovery ang mga pamaagi sa pagsulat. That is the time that the history is recorded. That event is recorded. But if during the prehistorical era, when I say prehistorical, the word pre, it only means what? When you hear the word pre, what does it mean? Pre.
Before.
So, before. That's a good answer. Lay and Raymark, no? So, before. So, pag musulti kag prior, ang samampod na, it is synonymous to the word before or pre. So, prehistoric era. When I say prehistoric era, there was no written evidences. So, you can also use the chat box, no? You can write something. I'll be writing something. You can take note also. No, it is also good to have your notes on your side, because not all in the PowerPoint presentation is written there. Sometimes it will just come up to my mind, and I'll be writing that one in the board, in the chat box, because I really I am fan of writing in the board when we have the face-to-face class. No, I don't bring books, but I love to write. No, there are some of you are under with me. You really experience that just a minute mapuno na ang board, because when you are writing, that's the only time that you can recall information. No, mas dali nimo madumduman ang imong gisulat kaysa wala nimo gisulat. Look at what happened kung suguon ka sa imong mama, muadto ka og palengke, ingnon ka sa imong mama, palit ani ginamos tuyo, loy abuwad, magic sarap, mantika. Imura tong memorization tanan niya. Kung pag-abot nimo dito nasapid ka, tumba ka, balik mo ka kay nakalimot ka. So kung imo nang gisulat tanan ang iyang gisugo na tanan item, pagbalik nimo padulong nimo dito maski pag mataga ka sa kanal, basta walang nagisi ang imong papel or gisuwat nimo sa Facebook o sa imuhang cellphone na ra gihapon, kay kung wala di gina nimo ma-recall. So mo nagiingon nato nga ang mga diaries ang atong Facebook are also evidences of the things that happened in the past. So a diary is an example, a good example of your events in the past. So sa una no, gamay na lang gyud ang naay diary karon, no. It is good to know that Miss Paghinayan until now at her age still have a diary, no. A simple event, no, bisag dili na lang gid na siya paragraph o sentences, just bulleted na kuan nga today I have my class, no. I answered the activity of Sir Hapitana. That way you can also, it will also relieve your mga stress o guban pa because you can recall everything, no. So that is a good example. So the history has different era. So akong i-kuan before sharing my slide. The era of history has different era. The history has different era. So it started with the prehistoric era. So prehistoric era meaning before the discovery of the writing system. Meaning to say, the writing system is not yet discovered. People don't know how to write or wala pag nila diskubrihan. So if there's no writing system, of course, there will be no recorded events. Kung wala ka nagsulat, o na, bisan nata sa classroom karon, if you are not writing, then you cannot record everything, no? Mo na ang atong gibuhat karon, the session is recorded, no? If you try to look at in your screen, there is rec or recorded session because after this, you can ask the link, the link of the recorded session. Anytime you can recall the information, even the text that is written in the chat box are also recorded. So that's the good thing of the technology today. Now, before man gyud sa physical classroom, sa face-to-face, you are not allowed to use your cell phone and that you will be recording your teacher, no? Dili gid na siya allowed sa una. But karon di ay niabot ang time nga kinahanglan na dahil nato ipang record, no? Pero sa matapulan ta di lang tumusulod mga ilang ko sa recording. No. Once you are in the synchronous class, we can actively be involved in the discussion, interactive discussion. Therefore, anytime you can ask questions or the teacher will be asking question and you can respond. So there are era meaning period or time. The prehistoric era. The second one is the historic era. So the historic era means this is the discovery of writing system. So I'll be asking randomly, the writing system was discovered. Where do you think people write their fun? Where do you think the ancient people write the events? Saan nila isinusulat yung mga pangyayari? The ancient people.
Okay.
Wala pa
True
yung
stones, sir.
mga correct.
True stone.
So,
Leaves.
correct, no? So I'll be asking you the stones or saan ang pinakauna mga ebidensya or evidences, no, during the panahon ng mga bato. That's what we call the lumang bato, the Paleolithic period. When you say paleo, it's all about Paleolithic, paleo, old, no? Paleolithic, lithic meaning paleo meaning ang lithic is the stone, no? Ang paleo is old during the Paleolithic. Then we have also the Mesolithic o panahon ng gitnang bato, no? We are recalling information in the past, no? When you have your history class in your junior high school or your elementary. No, the Mesolithic, and of course the next stage under is the Neolithic stage. Or okay, I have seen here stone and even caves. So that's a good answer. That is a good observation, Ryan Gumata. That the caves are the places where they write their events, no? So if you try to look at this one, this is an example of in France, the Lascaux cave, no? So I'll be searching that one in the Google, no? And I will let you uh, observe this one, painting, no? Writing. Randomly, no? I'll be presenting. So you can take note also or screenshot the discussion there in the message. So the chat box is very useful during this time. So this is an example of a Lascaux cave in France. This is an evidence that people are starting during the Neolithic stage. Now look at this. They are making a painting, a representation of animals. No, this is their natural food. No, cave paintings. Their main ways of living, ang pinakapangunahing hanap buhay nila ay pangangaso or hunting. So it only means that ngano man ang mga tao karon daghan na magsakit. Tingaman ta nga ang mga tao karon daghang sakit. Sa una wala man lagi ng mga cancer, mga diabetes, high blood, wala. Ngano man. What do you think is the reason? Can you give me your observation why this today in the recent and the present time people have experienced? Yes, Miss Asinas, you are raising your hand. Sige, Asinas.
From what I've observed, sir, it's because we have so many preservatives food, sir.
Okay, that's a good observation. Who else? The one who is also raising paginayan.
Sir, I think because since naga-global warming na, sir, and the ice the ice on the North Pole
Okay,
and South
so
Pole
it's
is
all
thawing, sir, it's kind of releasing ancient diseases that weren't there before but are here now, and we're
okay,
still
correct.
battling that, sir.
That's a good observation. Let's have Angeline Nagumay. She is raising her hand. Wala man siya niti. Sige, let's have Diwat.
Um, Kay sa before pa sir kanang ang mga tao dito dili man technology sa una din ma-exercise silang lawas. Unlike karon nga technology na kayo na naay sasakyan so dili na sila ma-exercise.
Okay, so physical activities, that's a good observation. Ryan Gumata, you are raising also. Then after that, we have Ace.
Because of our eating habits, sir.
Sir.
Okay, that's a good observation, no? That's you hit it right. The eating habit is the correct answer for me. Based on my kwan. I also learned from you, no, na inyong mga nasulti mga answer. But for me, the eating habit. If you try to look at in the past, food are not readily available in our table. No? Ang atong mga pagkaon sa una, dili siya readily available. Compared today, no, anytime, no, na ang pagkaon, you go to the mall, supermarket, if you have the money, you can access it. No, you can eat it without unknowingly or intaking a food which is unhealthy, and it's not yet the right time to eat that one. No, for example, ang prutas sa una, ang prutas is seasonal man na siya. Those who are raising their hand and they were not called, you can also write in the chat box so that I'll be also reading your answer. Okay? So, for example, that's a good observation, Miss Goodness. No, instant food. Everything is instant and healthy lifestyle. So before, food are not yet readily in our table. We are looking for it in the jungle, in the forest. No? For example, this fruit is not yet available because it's a seasonal fruit. That is why we cannot eat that much. No, it doesn't mean that you're eating eating fruits. It's delicious and it's nutritious. Not all fruits are nutritious on the right time because naman sa gitawag ng evolutionary nga time na ano sa para dapat nato kaunon. Di ba ang mga most of the tropical fruits are not yet readily available before. But today it's really readily available. Anytime you can buy mango. Although the mango it's a seasonal fruit, no? Dapat dili pa nato na siya kaunon kay dili pa siya ping kaon ana nga time. So, in general, in the past, we are eating according to its evolutionary process. No, it's a natural process. No, dili ta mo karon kay anytime pwede naman ta mo kaon instant. So aside from unhealthy eating, it's the instant food, correct? No, instant. So going back to our discussion, so we have the historic era. So this is the time that people are already having the writing system, no? And of course, today we historic era naman, and we have the recent one is it is called the modern era. So it is subdivided into three, no? But under that there are subdivision. But generally, I am dividing the era of history into three parts. We have the prehistoric, the historic era and the modern era. No, eating exotic food that will produce nutrition to the body. That's a good observation. No, they are just eating a raw food. No, dili na mga highly processed food. No, mao na siya. I think, sir, it's already there is a cancer other than just diseases like we have now, but we just don't know we have cancer before. Just okay. That's the good observation. It's the lifestyle, no? Para sa ako, it's the lifestyle and the eating habit. You have your share already. Thank you so much for participating. Okay. So to continue, no, I'll be asking now, what is history for yourself, for your own definition of from the video that you watch? Can you give me your definition of history? Just raise your hand if you want to volunteer. What is history for you? Okay, we have Baracoso first. Okay.
So history for me is the study of the people and the events of the past.
Okay, so thank you so much. No, according to Baracoso, it's a study of the people and their past. That is correct. No, let's have Ace. Then after we have Amila. For those who, for a while, for those who want to answer using the chat box, you can go directly to the chat box and write your answer. Yes, we have Mr. Ace.
Sure, it's understanding how passive.
Okay, understanding
It's understanding how past events impacted our world.
Okay, how the past event, no, impacted the world. That's a good answer. Thank you so much, Mr. Ace. Let's have Amila.
History for me is the study of the past, particularly in human affairs also.
Okay. Thank you so much, Miss Amila. It's all about the human affairs, no? Mga pangyayari na may kaugnayan sa mga gawain ng tao. So, ako na ito siyang Tagalog. So, according to let's have Bilbao. She is raising her hand. Then, after that, let's have Mark. Where are you?
Ako, sir.
Sige. Mark na lang sa.
It is important because we can learn from our past mistakes.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Mark. Tricia. You're raising your hand. Tisha May. Tisha May.
Sir?
Oh, yeah. You're raising your hand. You want
Hello,
to share
sir?
something. Oh. Yes.
You're raising your hand. You want to share something. Yes, sir. For me, sir, ang history, sir, is about the evolution of everything from the human evolution, how kanang mga basta, sir, kay evolution siya sa human and from past until now, sir. Nagtakod siya.
Okay. Thank you so much, Ms. Tisha. Let's have another one.
Let's have another.
Homono. Then Kagande after Homono.
Yes, sir. For me, sir, history is the whole series of our past. It studies our journey in life.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much. Let's have last one. We have Paul Michael Kagande. Then I'll be having my input.
Yes, sir. History, sir, is where we can learn how past societies, systems, governments, ideologies, cultures, and technologies were built, and how they operated and how they have changed.
Okay, so thank you so much. No, you have shared a lot, no, of your own definition, or it might be you have searched that one from the different references. I'll be also reading information in the chat box, no. History is the study of the past. That is generally the definition of the past of the human being. Specifically, people, societies, events, and problem in the past. Correct. Past events involving humans, no? That help to represent event form and answer our curiosity. Correct. It will serve as our guide coming from our ancestors to us, understanding the event in the past. Past happenings. Okay, you have the same answer. So, According to Regine, history is the study of change over time. Correct. It's a change over time. No? Covers all the aspects of human being. About uh, it's about the evolution. So thank you so much for sharing your answer. So for now, I would like you to stop writing on the chat box because I'll be writing something para dili siya matabunan. Thank you so much. Uh, okay, so thank you for uh, sharing your answer. Okay, so there are three elements of history. So three elements of history. What do you think are the three elements of history? Sige. Try to give me your answer in the chat box again. In order for us to tell that this event is a history, if the three elements are present, if the one of the three elements are not present, that event will not be called history. No, mo ganang giingon nila sige kag istorya. So if you are a history teacher, ikaw dapat ang pinakatabian. Kay sige kag relate og story, no? Iyang istorya. Kadugayan moingon na gali ang mga estudyante, no? So while I'm waiting, no? There is culture, so that's a nice try. Elements meaning okay, lay paghinayan got it right, no? You got it right. The three elements no wala gid siya na walay mali ana tulog correct gid na as well as Carmina no time place and people. Carmina, that's a good answer. And Lay, thank you so much. So again, there are three elements of history, that is time, place, and people. So when an history or an event happen, it must compose of the three elements, no? Time, of course, that is one of the significant na element because that will not happen if there's no time. For example, every 1 second, no, even millisecond happen. No, earlier 1 o'clock nag-start, it's already a history. Pagtagak sa imong bullpen, kung matagak na siya, there is already history. Why? The time that the bullpen dropped in the floor. Kana kinsay nag-drop. Ikaw. Unsay orasa, 2:09 hagbong. Asa nahitabo? Sa inyong balay, sa imong kwarto. So, kana ang tulo ka importante nga element, no? So please take note of that, the three elements of history, because in the absence of one, that will not be called history. No? For example, nay nanguyab sa imuha, asa man siya ni adto, kanus asya nanguyab o kinsa involved nga tao. So siyempre ang nanguyab o ang gipanguyaban, no? Asa nahitabo? Sa plaza, ngit-ngit. Unsang orasa, 9:00 gabi. Kinsa man naa dito ang duha ka tao ang nanguyab og ang gipanguyaban. So ana. So every 1 second, even millisecond that happen, that's history. But not all events are written in the book. Mo na siya. If you are not that significant, if you are not that sikat, quote unquote, no? Kung dili ka sikat and you are not a significant individual in a certain country, you will not be written in the book, no? For example, sa history sa SMCC, no? Kung dili ka kung ang history sa SMCC, for example, naalito ang pangalan sa isa ka tao, na siya significant na nabuhat. Or isa siya ka administrator. So masking pag mawala na siya diri sa kalibutan, makatatak ng iyang pangalan, iyang gibuhat o kanusa na niya gibuhat. Pangalan meaning the tao, asa niya gibuhat sa SMCC, kanusa niya nagibuhat. So if you are a significant individual, therefore you'll be written in the book or a reference. No? For example, Jose Rizal, Ferdinand Marcos, no? Magellan, and the rest of the individuals who are very significant in the event of the Philippines. But if you are not significant, for example, no, not to degrade you, yung ka, Rachel Nalam, kinsa man na siya, no? Unya na og magpakahiro ta, no? Even gali bisan magpakamatay ka, no? Even gali luwason nimo ng tao, no? Dili ingana kadali para gusto ka himuan og statuan, you do something, no? Pero dili ingana pasabot nga gusto lang ka masuwat sa libro, no? Dili. You can do everything, no, that will other people will make you proud, no, regardless dili kinahanglan nga mahimot ang sikat para magbuhat og maayo. But in the history, in the part of history, of course, ang katuraging mga significant na mga tawang butang sa libro. So meaning to say, ang history, mo galing nila, istoryahe, no? Istoryahe, no? Ano ilang mga statement, ano? Meaning to say, if you are a teacher of a history, no, you will become a teacher soon and you don't know what subject you're going to teach when you are in the field, no? It doesn't mean that you are BSED English, you will be only teaching English. No, when you are already in depth ed in a public school, you don't know what subject are you going to teach, no? So that is why when you have minor subject like this one, you take it more serious, no, although it's a minor, because you will take the board exam. Okay, so to continue, I'll be now sharing my screen and my first PowerPoint presentation. Thank you so much for participating. Okay, I hope you can see the screen already. I have here. Can you see the screen already?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes,
thanks.
sir.
Okay, thanks. Okay, so this is our first topic about learning history. No, you might be considering the subject history or kasaysayan. No, sa Tagalog, pag sinabi natin kasaysayan, what is the root word of kasaysayan? Kasaysayan. So, what do you think is the root word of the word uh, kasaysayan? So, I'll be writing here in the chat box,
Salaysay, sir.
kasaysayan.
Say, sir.
Again, kagande.
Say.
Saysay. Correct. No? Saysay. We can also get the word salaysay. No? That's a good observation. No? There are two terms. Saysay and salaysay is different. No? Salaysay meaning you are making a story, no? Narrating. No? Ang saysay, what is saysay in English? What is saysay? Ang
Make
buhay mo
sense,
ay
sir?
may saysay. Yes, Lay?
Kanang make sense, sir?
Make sense. What else? Value, correct. May value or kahalagahan. No? For example, ang iyong buhay ay isinasalaysay, no? Isinasalaysay dahil ito ay may saysay. No? Meaning, your life is being narrated, no? Because it has a value. No? Mo na siya. So, lahat ng mga nangyayari o mga pangyayari sa nakaraan ay may saysay, kaya ito isinasalaysay, no? So, salaysay is the story, declaration, correct? No? It's a story, saysay. So, that's a good observation. So, going back to the presentation, so if we are talking about naman po sa word na history, what do you think is the root word? There are two words.
Story.
Story. Story. Mana kung giingon ka ganyan. Meaning to say, that is your story. So each of us, each individual, you at your age right now, you're 18 or 19 or 20 or more than that, you have your own history. You have your own story. No? Kulang ang atong isa ka oras o duha ka oras kung individual ta mag-share sa atong story. No? Kulang na siya kaayo. So, but later, no, if by next meeting before we have our first group, probably we could have an activity or you will have an individual. It will cost more time if we will have an individual of sharing their history of their life. No, our story of life is not only composed of happiness. It's not only about success. It's all about failure, no? And success. It's a combination, no? It's more like this failure or seasoning of our life, no? Panglasa na siya. Therefore, there is no perfect life, there is no perfect history, but those challenges, obstacles, and hindrances that you were able to hurdle, no? That you will be able to surpass are all learnings, are all little success, no? Bilagmay lang na siya. So once we are going to discuss, we are going to learn history. So the topic is learning history. What are the expected outcomes? So these are the expected outcomes that we're going to learn when we'll be able to finish the slides, no? Learning history. Number one, uh, you will be able to demonstrate on an in understanding of history. No? Muna, kaganihan nagpa-show ko video that why there is a, why there is a need for us to study history. No? Why study history? Well, manabalik-balik naman na. No? Some are also asking or telling us a joke that that question is not yet answered. For example, sino ang pumatay kang Magellan? Ang today karon mapagyapon na naman nahibawan. Sino pumatay kang Bonifacio? Sino pumatay kang Jose Rizal? No? That is not what we want only. We are not going to learn history of the specific dates. No? Dili lang kay ang dates na itong memorization. But there are very important and integral and vital dates that every Filipino should know. No, imposible na po ug kakabaloon sa ng June 12, 1898. No? Dili tanan mga dates, historical dates ang atong dapat maibaw ay na memorize. But there are very significant and vital. So this coming August 30, every fourth Monday of August. That's a holiday. You know, most of us are very happy. We celebrate holiday because we don't have class. No, we can spare more some time or more time, but we don't know the essence of that holiday. For example, last August 21, that's Saturday. This coming August 30, it's another holiday. No, dili lang tala malipay ta kay holiday, but we need to commemorate, no, to recall the value of that event. Why we have that holiday, no? It is an awakening of the historical events, no? You as a youth of this country, you must be aware. Loain kay paminawon, no, nga nag-enjoy ka ng holiday but you don't know why there is a holiday. No, anong ang August 30 holiday siya. So probably you are enrolled in this subject, you must know everything about the significant dates like uh, August 19, no? That's before it is called August, and that week is called Linggo ng Wika, and then it was changed to Buwan ng Wika. August 19 is the birthday of Manuel L. Quezon, who was also known as the father of the Filipino language and also the first president of the Commonwealth. No? So that's a simple na mga information, but not all of us are very familiar with that. That is what I am trying to tell you. No, those significant lang. Bisan ka na lang ng mga vital. No need for you to memorize all the dates because it's not necessary. But there are vital information that we need to understand. So when you are understanding history, when you are learning history, you can really understand what happened in the past. No? Sige. So I have here a picture of a person who is telling the statement shown in the slide. So I'll be reading this one and I'll be asking your opinion or your idea, or you might also share to me what is your idea about this statement. So ako na lang siyang paggamayon para makita na po ang screen o ang PowerPoint presentation. I think you can still see the screen while I am doing this one. So that in the chat box I can see. Okay. So there is a term there used. Those who do not learn history are doomed to repeat it, according to George Santayana. So try to reflect. Now, by 2 minutes, I'll be asking, or somebody will raise their hand and share their ideas on elaborate the statement. Those who do not learn history are doomed to repeat it. So I'll be giving you 2 minutes to reflect on this. And if you want to say something, just raise your hand or write your answer on the chat box. Okay, so Miss Asinas is racing. Later, no, I'll be calling you. You're the first one. Then after that, let's have also another individual, Ryan Gumata. I'm also encouraging others no, to share and to raise and participate. No, I have seen familiar individuals no, or they're trying to share something. No, I hope others also may also raise their hand. I also have Bill Bao also raising their hand. So that will be the sequence no, when I call their names. So I still give you 1 more minute to reflect on this. Okay, so let's start. No, the first one I called Pinsa man to. Sige. For those who don't want to answer orally, you can use the chat box for you to answer. Okay, let's start with the one who is been calling. Pinsa to ang pinakauna.
Ako, sir.
Sige. Go ahead.
So, if it's okay, sir, if I mix my language, sir. I mean,
Okay.
okay lang, sir. So, from what I reflect, sir, is that if they don't know the past mistakes, sir, they, so eventually they kana ila gibaling mahimo, sir, baka nang gibali. Wala man sila kabalo sa unsay mali. So, mo nang ilang mabuhat. Kaya wala man sila kabalo.
Okay, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts, Miss Asinas. I'm also encouraging everyone to speak the language so that you will be, as I told you in our first discussion, in the first meeting, no, I am really trying to encourage you to speak the language that you can develop your communication skill, no. But time to time, no, if you cannot really speak it fluently, I will really allow you. But I am encouraging you and I'm challenging you to speak the language. Okay, let's proceed now to Ryan.
Thank you, sir. For me, those who are not inculcate and learn the lesson of their history will bring them back to those events and let them learn it.
Mm, correct. No? The history will give you the lesson. If you don't want to learn something from the past, no, I will just give my input. No, those who don't learn history, meaning the past, your mistake in the past will serve as your guide. No, ang mga pangyayari sa nakaraan ay maaari mong gamitin na itama. No, but if you will not learn from your lesson in the past, it will just eventually be repeated. No, kaya nga may kasabihan pa tayo, history repeat itself, no? Ang kasaysayan, ang mga pangyayari sa nakaraan ay pwedeng mangyari pa, no? But if you will continuously doing the wrong things and there will be no one who will call your attention that you are doing not good things and you are not learning from the things from your mistake, of course it will just repeatedly happening, no? Who else? You might be also sharing Miss Zabaliero, then followed by Bilbao. Miss Zabaliero Shelame, where are you? We'll be back to you na lang later. Let's have another one. Bilbao. Please, Shame.
Yes, sir.
Okay, there you have it.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay,
sir.
there you have it.
Sir, if it's okay if I can open my cam.
Yes, continue.
Yes,
continue.
Okay, for me, sir, if you can't learn from your past, it keeps repeating it until you realize how important that lesson from your past.
Yes, sir.
That's
Sir,
it,
I'm
sir.
here. Yes, sir.
Thank you so much,
Can you
May.
hear
Let's
me,
have
sir?
yes, Abaliero, I can hear you. So please proceed. It's now your time to share. Miss Sheila May, please proceed now. I can hear you earlier. Miss Sheila May, I think you have some difficulties or problem with your audio. You may write na lang your answer on the chat box. Momentarily, please write your answer on the chat box, Miss Sheila May, because I think you have a problem with your connection and connectivity, especially on your audio. We cannot hear you clearly. Okay, I'll be reading some answers there in the chat box for the benefits of everyone. People, according to Nova Jane, people who do not learn from their mistakes of the past are going to
Sir?
make a
Sir, good
mistake.
afternoon. Can you hear me
Uh,
now?
yes, I can hear you. So give me now your thoughts. Sheila May, you can proceed now, Miss Sheila May. I think you still have the problem of your audio. We can still not hear you. So I recommend you to write your answer na lang on the chat box for us to continue because it will take more time. We'll still be waiting for your answer. I hope you understand. Please write on your answer in the chat box. Okay, to continue, no, I am now reading your answer in the chat box, no. So the history, the events in the past are our guide. Mo ni atong guide, pasabot ana, kani siya tanan, guide nato ni, nga ako ning Bisaya on para important para masabtan og maayo. This event na mga panghitabo sa nakalipas, guide now for our present and our future, no? So meaning to say, we need to learn from our past. Although mistake na siya o dili, no? Kung maayo na siya, kung ang pasabot lagi diri nga istorya pasabot ani is the negative one. So nganong bunalan man ta sa atong mama, sa atong parents, sa atong papa, nganong masuko man na sila, no? They will scold you, no? They will reprimand you not because they just want to do it. The main reason why they scold you or reprimand you or bulalan ka, that is because you have committed a mistake and they want you to learn from that mistake. No, kalain mo pud ang ginikanan kung pasagdan ra ka nga nagbuhat og di maayo. So meaning to say, the events, the negative one in the past must be learned. No, that is why we need to study the history of our country. No, there is a saying that history repeats itself. What are evidences in our history of the country that repeated? No, na nahitabo na panugbalik. Can you identify a certain event, a certain historical event in our country that there are other version 1, version 2? Nga ba mo'y madumduman? Although you are not yet born on that time, but you have learned from your resources or your information. Is there a significant event in our history of our country na nangyari na noon, na nangyari pa sa kasulukuyan? So we have Baracuso. Can you
Martial law,
identify?
sir.
Correct. So can you cite the event that happened before and then now it also happened? Martial law
I
during
clearly I clearly not remember
oh,
the day,
um,
but it all started from late President Ferdinand Marcos, and now
okay.
repeated in our 16th president, I guess.
Okay, that's a good
Duterte,
observation.
President Duterte.
Correct. So, martial law has been implemented in the entire country. That was before. But during Duterte's administration, it's not in the entire country. On a specific country only, no?
Oh, yes.
It's specific place only, no? Example, when the Zamboanga siege happened, it's all, or in Mindanao lang siya naitabo. So, it's not the entire country. But the same principle, the declaration of martial law. No, thank you so much. No, I think that penalty, sir. We are talking about here about a certain event, on the history, certain event in the history that happened before, then it was repeated again. Pandemic, that's health related, no? That's good observation also. But I am asking for in our country, historic, like martial law, political, geographical, economical, or whatever na kuan. Okay, have you, I think nobody can identify, no? Lawrence Trinkete, you're raising your hand. Can you, you're going to share something?
Pwede about sa Yolanda, sir?
What it's all about?
Uh, super Super Typhoon
Uh,
Yolanda
okay,
made landfall in the Philippines, sir.
okay,
And it's November 8, 2000, I'm sorry,
okay.
13, sir.
Okay, so that's a natural phenomenon, meaning it does not involve a human activity, no? Dili man nagbinuhat sa tao, no? Thank you so much for sharing your answer, Miss
Okay.
Lawrence. Okay, kanina ako nakidaan. The correct answer that I am waiting for is EDSA Revolution, no? Rona, you are citing EDSA Revolution. What is EDSA Revolution all about and why you have answered EDSA Revolution? Can you give me your specific observation that EDSA revolution was happened before and another EDSA revolution also happened? Any specific details? Miss Rona Salarza, you have got it right. The answer that I'm waiting for. There you have it. Miss Rona, can you share something? Why did you say EDSA revolution? What is all about EDSA revolution?
What do I say? Bata ka na.
Sige. So I'll be the one na lang to share the why it is EDSA revolution was I'm waiting for. So Mark Sumagang, you might be answering you might going to answer why it is EDSA revolution or you might have another answer. Sumagang, Mark. Okay, I think she's not he's not able to switch on the microphone. So I'll be the one to share to you. That is a good example why there is a certain event in our history that repeated again. So we have EDSA 1 and EDSA 2, or the People Power 1, no? And the People Power 2. And we still have People Power 3 according to them, no? So World War 1 and World War 2, that's a correct answer also, no? But I am referring to specifically on the event of our country. Although Philippines are also involved, was also involved during the World War, but specifically I am talking about EDSA Revolution 1 and EDSA Revolution 2. The EDSA Revolution 1 happened during, or the People Power 1 happened during the presidency of the regime of Marcos, no? Then the second one is during the time of Marcos was removed from his office because of the People Power 1, the Bloodless Revolution, and he was replaced by Cory Aquino. The EDSA Revolution 2 happened in the year 2001 in the presidency of former President Joseph Erzate Estrada. He was removed from the office not by impeachment because the impeachment was not completely done, and people are going to streets, specifically in EDSA, where People Power 1 happened. No, he was also replaced. He was removed through the People Power, and he was replaced by former President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo. So that's an example, no, of the statement, no, that those who do not learn history are doomed to repeat it. So in general, everybody should learn from our past because the past will serve as our guide in the present time. And of course, in the future, maaari natin gamitin ang mga pangyayari sa nakaraan upang maging gabay natin sa ating pang-araw-araw na gawain at sa mga aharapin pa natin or sa hinaharap. Okay, to continue. So what is history? History comes from the Greek word istoia, no? Istoia. So a Greek word istoia, learning. In English, istoia is meaning learning. So when When you study history, you are learning. No, that's a body of knowledge. No, everything that comes to your mind that's stuck on your short-term or long-term memory, that becomes a learning. That's what we call a body of knowledge. Because why the Greek people are the first to study history, no? Mao nang nabantayan nato nga ang etymology, when I say etymology, the origin of the word, no, comes from a certain civilization, no? If you still remember your grade 8 or grade 9 world history, the Greek civilization started its first civilization in Europe, no? So they were the first people who are being knowledgeable and being called as knowledgeable individual, no? Ang mga Grego. So the father of history is no other than Herodotus, no? To make sense of history, it is necessary to first understand what is all about history. Many people think that history is merely list of names. No? Muna kung giingon ganyan, it's not only list of names, katong mga ipang mention ako ang mga pangalan. And it's not only the list of dates, not only about places and important events. However, history or the study of history is more than just knowing and memorizing facts. Muna kung giingon, you might be afraid of studying history because there are a lot of things to memorize. No? I will let you be reminded of the main purpose of studying history. The main purpose is to understand the events in the past, knowing more than just memorizing the facts. So we will be able to develop our critical analysis. Historians are the people who study history. Their duty is to draw insights. So that is why in our activity, no, I'm also always asking your insights. When you hear the word insights, it is your thoughts, idea, no, that will just come up to your mind. And I want that for you to share in the class your insights. Not only memorizing kung kinsa na, sinong pumatay, kailan nangyari, ano ang mga pangyayaring ito, but you are today little historian. Once you are enrolled in the subject history, you are called little historian. Every one of us here are called little historians. We are all historians because we want to learn history. So your responsibility as a student of history is to draw insights from the ideas and realities that have shaped our lives and society. Meaning to say, paano tayo naging ganito? Bakit naging ganito ang Pilipinas? Bakit naging democratic country tayo? Why we enjoy our freedom? Why we enjoy our rights? Because our ancestors, our bayanis or heroes, no, Filipino heroes, are trying to fight, no, that we deserve this right and freedom. Not because of them, we should not be able to enjoy the freedom. Our society that we are living right now is not the same society that we are living right now. You know? So this is because of the past event. Why our people are keep on having their rallies? So they can voice out against the government. Before, during the Spanish era, we are not allowed to speak against the government. Now, because of our heroes like Jose Rizal and Des Bonifacio and other individuals who uh, sacrifice their life in order for us to enjoy the freedom that we have right now. No, we really enjoy the freedom right now. Look at an individual having their rally in the streets. No, we can speak on the social media. No, we don't filter the information. We don't filter the freedom. No, every freedom that we have, there is attached responsibility. No? Meaning we have all the rights, but every rights that you enjoy, again, I'll repeat, every rights that you enjoy, there is an attachment of responsibility. As I always said to my students, no, we have to enjoy our right, but we need to be responsible of the right that we have. Why? We can speak against individuals, but make sure that the one that you are that the words that utter from your mouth could not really destroy his or her characteristic, because you will be sued. No? You will be sued for a case. No, for example, libelous crime or libel, because you are talking about negative, but there's no proof that that person is being labeled on that terms that you are using. Meaning to say, we must be careful of our right. No? For example, this is what I always say to my student. No? This is an analogy, a comparison, no, of what is the right and responsibility. Now, we have all the right to extend our arms. You can extend your arms, no? There, sa inyong balay karon. Extend your arms. You can extend your arms as long as you want, no? O, ako, extend ako na akong kamot. That is your right. But what is your responsibility on that? No? Ako na extend akong kamot karon, wag din maigbuan eh. But if there's somebody near to you, your responsibility, make sure you cannot hit somebody. No? Ako ning right na mag-extend sa akong kamot. But if there is someone beside me, and probably he will be hit by my arm, so my responsibility there is to limit my stretch. No? Dapat dili ko makaigo. So, mao na siya. We can enjoy our right. No? We can speak. We have the freedom of speech. We have the freedom to speak. No? Freedom of telling something, but make sure nga walay masakitan o walay maigo. Ano? No? So, that's rights and responsibilities. No? For example, you have the right to make a comment. No? Labi na sa social media. We have the right to make our comments, but make sure your comments is factual information. Dapat hindi nakakasira ng puri, ng dangal, ng dignidad ng ibang tao. So, that is all about rights. In understanding these ideas, we can comprehend, no? It's all about comprehension on the situations that can solve to these predicaments. What is predicaments? The predicaments are the problem, no? The past events or the events in the past can really help us to solve the problem in the present and even in the future. So that is why we need to comprehend. Ganong nahitabo man ng World War I? Ganong nahitabo man ng EDSA Revolution I? What are the lessons that we need to learn so that it will not happen again? Because there is a saying that history repeat itself, and that is true. Ang mga nangyayari noon sa nakaraan ay maaring mangyari sa kasalukuyan at sa hinaharap. So that is why we need to comprehend this situation. Anong man? Anong gibunalan man ko sa akong mama? Anong gikasamaan man ko sa akong papa? Anong gipalayas man ko? So there are lessons to be learned in every event. What we need is to comprehend the situations. Nganong naamani nga mga panghitabo? Nganong nabagsak man ko sa una sa senior high school? Ay, kaya di man ko mag-answer sa akong module or di man ko magsulsol sa online class. So karon kay na college naman ko, buhaton papaghihapon to nako. It's all about comprehension, no? That will really solve the predicaments of our life and help us plan in the future. For example, gibiyaan ka sa imong uyab. So, unsa may mong una-unaon, unsa kaya kung sayop, asa ka ko nagkulang o asa siya nagkulang. So that you will learn from that event of your life na wala na successful in your relationship. So that in the near future, if you will have another relationship with another person, you can plan ahead na maodeni. Dapat di ay nga niya kung buhaton. So, history or studying the past is comprehending, understanding the different situations. So, let's define, no, kaganiha. What is history, no? Kaganiha, it's all about the derivation or the etymology of the word history. Now, the study of history, therefore, is the study of beliefs, desires, institutions of human being. You know, it's all about beliefs, they are desires, and the different institutions of human being. History becomes an active factor in the study of the Philippine society. You know, our society now, kung ano tayo, anong meron tayo ngayon, dahil ito sa nakaraan natin. Why we enjoy the freedom that we have, that is because of the sacrifices of different individuals who fight for our freedom. No? It is a continuous process. You might be not involved in that kind of event in the past because you are not yet born in that past. But today, it is right time for you to be involved of our society. For example, the upcoming election. All of you, I think you're already 18. It is your responsibility to vote. It is your responsibility to express or to perform your right to suffrage. What is suffrage? The freedom to vote, no? And do not think of the money that the politician will give to you. Lumingon na bagay dahil mo og asa akong budget appeal ba ko anak sa budget magparehistro ko karon kay para makadawat kong kwarta. So that corruption na mentioned kay ganiha, it will be repeatedly happening because people are what? It becomes a culture of the Filipino, no? So they are receiving an amount of money. So therefore, there is no reason for us to complain against the government, against this politician, these corrupt politicians, because we are already paid that amount for 3 years, for 6 years. If you are voting for a mayor and you receive an amount for that candidate, and of course you don't have the right to complain and demand to that person as a politician because you're already paid. No, binayaran ka na, tapos ka nang binayaran. So there's no reason for them, no nga, for them there is a reason for them to corrupt the money, the budget, because they have spent a lot for the people to receive that kind of amount. So kinsa man puy buang nga magasto nga dili mumawi. So mao na as Filipino, that becomes a culture. Sa ato kinahanglan na tanggalon nga culture because that is not a good culture. So that is bribery. No? Nidawat ka ano. No? So the history repeat itself gyud siya. Dili ni mawala sige tagreklamo sa DOH, sa uban pa, sa mga government agencies, but we are also corrupt. Once you receive the amount of money given to you by the politicians, you are also called corrupt because that money is being associated to a corrupt money. No? So Philippine culture through the time, especially with the influences of the colonial period, we were colonized by the Spaniards, by the Japanese, by the Americans. No? Of course, they have influences to us. Daghan kayo sila na influence to through our lifestyle, our the way we dress, the way we talk, the language, the dialect that we are using. No, sometimes nga the span for 333 years, we are being influenced by the Spaniards. No, pero ang at ilang language wala kay naka-influence ato. Unlike sa American, no, we are called the little brothers of the Americans. Why? We want to idolize them. We patronize their product. We want to look like them. No, that is why we are called the little brothers of the Americans because we idolize them, we patronize their product, and we want to look like the same with them. No? Okay. Why study history? It's an examination of the past that can tell us the great deal about how we become to be who we are. It means looking the roots of the modern institution, values, and problems. Looking at the past teaches us to see the world through the different types, eyes, appreciating the diversity of human perception, the beliefs, cultures, different or new perspectives will enable us to analyze critically. So this is what I want you to develop, no? The critical analysis or to analyze critically the present context of our society. Now, we are going to compare the 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 event that happened in the past and the recent event. Nung ano maning nahitabo gihapon ang nahitabo sa una. Unsa kay angay natong buhaton para malikayan nato ni. So, we need to think critically and analyze the critical value. Okay, let's proceed now to the meaning and relevance of history. Unsay importansya nganong na ang history? The meaning, it is the study of the past events. It was been mentioned earlier, particularly in human affairs. No, some of you are looking these slides. That is why you posted this answer to our discussion earlier. The whole past events connected with someone or something. It's the study or a record of the past events considered together, special events of a particular period, country, or subject. The relevance, okay. History is inescapable, meaning dili malikayan. History is inescapable. No, we cannot escape history. Di mo na malikayan. All people and peoples are living within the history. Every one of us has its own history. Wala siya. It studies the past and the legacies. When I say legacies, ang mga pamana, ang mga kaayo. For example, Manny Pacquiao is a legend, no, of the Philippine athlete, no, of boxing world. So, legacies. It will also help us to understand our linkages between the past and the present, and absolutely basic for a good understanding in the condition of human being. So it's a connection, link or connection between the past and the present. Thus, it is not just useful but essential. When you say essential, sama lang essential, importante. No? Magamit, labaw sa tanan, essential pagit siya. Noon sa man akong presentation. So, ito number 1. For a while, kaya ako sa i-plus na. Kaya wala na. Okay, it's almost time, but I need to finish this one. Okay. Communities speak languages that are inherited from the past. They live, these are the relevance, no? They live in societies with complex cultures. People use technologies that they have not themselves invented. Each individual is born with personal variant of inherited genetic template which has evolved during the lifespan of the human species. Now, if you try to understand the human evolution, if you still recall the scientific evolution of human being, no, by Charles Darwin in his book The Origin of Species by Means of Natural Selection. No, it was discussed in your AP subject before, or even in your biology subject before, no, in grade 8 probably. So it was Charles Darwin. No, he wrote a book entitled "The Origin of Species by Means of Natural Selection," and it also written by John Lamarck, "The Survival of the Fittest." You know, so let's talk about the human evolution. These are the stages of the human evolution. There are 5. No, we are look according to Charles Darwin. The human being is coming from a singular cell, and it's from time to time it evolved. No, it becomes a hominid. Next to that, we have the Homo Habilis, or what we call the skillful man. This is the time that the individual or human being are able to use the different skills. Then number 3 stage is the Homo erectus, or the upright man. This is also the time that the human being able to walk using their feet. No? Then we have the Homo sapiens, or the wise man. And of course, in recent, our scientific name as human being here in the world, we are called Homo sapiens sapiens, or the modern man. Okay, another relevance. It allows us to make more sense of the current world. According nga kang si Rizal, ang taong hindi marunong lumingon sa pinanggalingan ay hindi makakarating sa paruroonan. So it only means that we need to remember the past. We need to learn from the past. We need to learn from our mistake in order for us to continue in the present time and to prepare ourselves in the future. So I'll be able to stop the presentation. No, I still have one more presentation. No, we are in the 10th slide. Probably next meeting. So next meeting, I still have one more slides, one more presentation before the first group that we are going to have. And please just wait for the assessment. No, I'll be posting that one. I'll be posting that one in the LMS. So make sure that you will read the LMS later, or mga next karon na mga semana tanawon lang na ninyo. Okay, so is there any other questions or clarification? If there's none, no, I think it's already time. 4 minutes from now, it's already 3 p.m. Do you still have class after this?
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Castera, yes.
Kanang kuan sir ba kanang mangutana ko kung asa ko nga grupo.
Wa ka nakabalo?
Wala ko gaino.
Sige,
Late ko na kasulod.
kaday lang ha. Kaya kung tanawon, kaya wala ra ba na ko gi Pastera
Apa.
for a while. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Diba? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6, Miss Pastera.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, so do you have any questions? If there is no question or someone is raising,
Thank you, sir.
yes, Lawrence.
Sir, na sir ba, why climate changes are not part of history, sir? I mean, like, nganong di man siya specific, sir?
Ang climate, nay pangutana, climate, but sir, why climate change are not part of history?
Oh,
Everything
sir.
happens with the history, no? Whatever subject na po, sa kung sa pa nga subject inyong sugdan, magsugod yun mo history of that subject. So, I think it's still part, but ang ako lang ditong pasabot is political ang akong kung naabay na hitabo ana nga version. Part 1, part 2. No? For example, World War 1, World War 2, EDSA 1, EDSA 2. So, that's a good example that phenomenal magina sa story. Ang kana siya is what do you call this one? Uh, uh, ang panghitabo nga sa nga climate change, it does not involve na ang tao gid ang nagbuhat ana. So yes, ang tao because it's the effect, but it does not involve yun nga siya ang tao na nag-create sa bagyo, sa linog, so it's all natural. But anyway, it's just part of the history, but it's not, kung magbalik-balik ang bagyo, it is just part of the cycle, no? Wala siya
Yes, sir.
involvement gid sa tao. So kay natural man siya.
Ah.
Unlike sa katong kaganiha nga World War 1, World War 2, it's the involvement of the human being anong nahitabo siya. Kay ang climate change o bagyo kay cycling man siya, so magbalik-balik gid siya nga naibagyo nga mahitabo.
O si Rizal history, sir, pwede po sa
Hindi
siya.
na siya because pero kasara man nahitabo ang life ni si Rizal.
Ah.
Pero ginabalik-balik lang nato siya tudlo, no? Pero dili na mao pasabot dito history repeat itself. Ang pasabot sa history repeat itself is na ay mga panghitabo sa una nga posible mahitabo karon. Pero kanang bagyo, mga climate change are all natural phenomena, no? Pwede sa mahitabo, pwede po dili. Pero kanang yung mga history nga nahitabo sa una nga pwede rin nato dapat malikayan, pero kanang bagyo di man na siya malikayan kay part man siya sa cycle sa natural phenomena.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any
Sir,
other?
Thank you, sir.
Yes. Sa Balyero.
Yes, sir. Regarding sa grouping, sir, ang group 1, sir, mag-report na ba next meeting?
Yes, you will have your first presentation, but before that, I'll be the one to continue first the continuation of my presentation. Then after my continuation, probably you will have the first part of your presentation.
Thanks, sir. Thank you.
Okay, so I think we need to end because you still have class. So write on the chat box, see you next meeting for our final attendance. So if you are done already writing on the chat box, see you next meeting, you can now left the session so that you can proceed to your next subject. Thank you so much and have a nice day and keep safe always. Goodbye and God bless.
Goodbye, sir.
Goodbye, sir. See you in the meeting. Bye, classmate.